Welcome back to our third March market for 2024, and we are at the Eagan Community Center. And please forgive the low light quality, but I wanted to show the reality of when we wake up before we get to an event. Okay, there's kind of a glare, but I'm showing you the outside and it is dark again because we are in the car on the side of the road getting ready to get started. It is a little bit before 6 a.m. and we're getting ready for our third market in a row for March, and we're gonna see how it goes. This is a 2-day event, but here we go. And I know you can't see me very well, but I am driving here, so it's dark out. But yes, I just wanted to say good morning. There's a little bit of light from the street light, but we are on our way in the car in the dark again, even though it is springtime. We just had daylight savings time, so it's still dark out in the morning. There's the side of my husband's face, and we're all dressed and ready, and we have the car loaded behind us, and we're just getting ready to go. I don't really show kind of like our pre-setup or practice before because, again, we've had it is over a year of practice and events, and we know our setup, and we have all of our shelving that we purchased and upgraded to that's collapsible instead of tables with table raisers. So and by raisers I mean like those risers that you pretty much can put under furniture to lift it up higher. So we don't need that. We're kind of stopped at a light right now, and we do have kind of like all of our electronics and everything we do put away in a separate backpack so that it's easy to grab for on the way out, so that we're taking all of our electronics and cash and things that are after a show if it's a 2-day event, so that we have that, so that we can look at our numbers and review, and that we're not leaving that behind. And we have little fanny packs that I purchased so that we can keep our petty cash with us at all times, and that we don't accidentally set it or leave it anywhere, and just kind of comes in handy. We're on our way to get some breakfast and get some coffee, so we've got to wake up early this morning. And then we weren't able to set up last night at the venue that we're going to be at because they had another event, so everybody's going to be going there this morning, so it might be a little bit of a fight to get everything unloaded with all of the people that are going to be attending. So hopefully we have enough time for setup and getting unloaded, but we're in our same spot that we're always in, so that's a good thing because people can always come find us since we are in the same spot at this community center every time. And we'll see how well we do. We just did an event with them in December. It was right before Christmas, and we did very well, probably 10x what we paid for table costs. So I don't know if we're going to do as well because spring events do tend to be a little bit smaller in attendance compared to the holiday time. So we're just hoping we have a good couple days and that we get a good crowd. All right, off to the event. We're sitting under the lights here. There's my husband, and got our coffee, so we're all set to go for this morning. Gotta fuel up.
Definitely.
Okay, we made it to the event space at the Eagan Community Center in Minnesota, and we're always in this corner, which is kind of a little bit weird, but they do shut and close those doors behind us. It's not the prettiest corner, but it's bigger than a 10 by 10 space, so we're always really happy with it. And then I'm just kind of walking through the main hallway. There's two parts. There's a gymnasium, and then there's the main hallway. It's still really early, and not all of the vendors are there yet. We got there like 4 hours ahead of time at like 6 in the morning with a couple people that we know. There's always the same group that's next to us whenever we're here, and so we're just working on getting all of our boxes unpacked, and here's our things when it's all done and we have all of our shelving and everything put together. Again, we cleaned up the bottom to make everything look good, and we have our grid wall up. All right, hopefully My hair is in a mess here, but we are all set up at our booth area and we're just waiting for everything to begin. We got here super early just because we thought we would take longer to get everything all organized because my things are so small and it takes a long time. So we're kind of in our corner, but we're in booth number 2 and we are here Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 4, and this is our second annual spring show with the same group, and everybody else is still getting set up because we have maybe an hour, close to an hour before everything begins. But I'm feeling good because we finally have everything up well before the show begins instead of setting up as people are coming in. So overall the feeling is pretty good, and I'm just going to do a quick walk around with you to show you what everything looks like. Alright, I just wanted to take you on a quick tour because we're thinking of moving into the gymnasium space with Rosecraft Group, and they're the ones that coordinate these events. They've grown to 170 vendors, so they've expanded into the gymnasium, and this is where, you enter into the community center. It's the most noticeable spot. Our area is kind of more of the hidden, kind of quieter corner. The aisles aren't as big, but again, I feel like the majority of traffic stops in here first, which may be affecting maybe opportunities for us. So then once you're out of the gymnasium, you go back down the hallway through their little entry area, and in the hallway we also have competitors which may be affecting our potential opportunities as well. And then we're inside. People were just setting up because again we got there like 2 hours before.
Alright, here we are, space number 2, March 23rd and 24th. We are all set up. It was really great that he let us come in at 6 a.m. Have lots of time to set up.
Here is our booth. There's my husband right there. And we have our 2 shelving units, and then we have a grid wall set up. We were testing out a new grid wall, but I don't know, it's a little complicated and we have to try to figure out how everything gets set up. But there's my new earrings that I was working on and showing in my vlogs. And yeah, here's our setup with our new items and our new keychains that we have. So here's some of the sets that I was working on, and then there is the new cat shelf that I was working on and the new little dresser that I have going. So yeah, all of my new pieces are up on here that I've been showing in my videos, and people are still getting set up that maybe don't take as long to get everything put up and organized, but there is a mix of home decor. There's some food here. There is some other kinds of snacks and treats, but it's all homemade, and there are some that are going to be maybe some MLM, but again, these are hand-painted signs. Aren't those cute? But it is a mix, and we have some crochet. But everybody's getting set up right now. I'm just taking a quick walk around. We have puzzles, and then there's more in this second room here that are getting set up. So we have some crochet and some other things that are going to be going on in this room. We have 2 areas, and since they've started with this group, which is Rosecraft here in the Minneapolis, Minnesota area, they have grown, and they have events that we sign up for throughout the year. So, oh, look at those carrots. Those are so cute. All right. Some cute earrings over here. And then I did see out in the hallway too, we do have some other like 3D printers and things, but ours are a little bit different because we again have a variety of kind of a mixed medium with ours too, where it's not just 3D printing, it is also with a mix of polymer clay and other materials. So here we are, booth number 2, and yeah, here is our brand new setup. All right, so here we are within the first hour, and there's my husband there, and I am voicing over just to get a little bit better audio. It did pick up, it was noisier in there, but within our first hour we did have a couple sales. There were a couple pairs of earrings that I had made from my new collection there. So things were going pretty well, and you could hear audibly that things were picking up. Our neighbors across from us were finally all set up. And we had a freeze-dried person across from us, and then somebody else who did like stone cutting and charcuterie boards. And then we had our neighbors that we always have next to us in booth number 1 that do like handmade like paper cards and little treat bags, and they just do really cute tiny decor. And yeah, just it was kind of a good feeling, because I always get nervous, you know, sometimes it takes over an hour to actually get in your first sale, but we're on a roll, so I'll keep checking in with you throughout the day. Alright, so we're in the back here. You can see we do try to cover, if we have any bins in the back, we either try to hide them behind the table or cover them so that it looks a little bit neater and more organized. But yeah, there's still crowds that are just coming through for the first hour. We had kind of like a little spurt, and then it's like a little bit quieter as people make their way around. So we'll see how things go this morning, but it is within the next hour, and it's just before lunchtime. But it looks like there's a pretty good turnout today, and people were saying too that the parking lot was actually pretty busy, so that is a good sign. Alright, I'm back over here, and some of the brand new pieces that I showed earlier this morning on the shelf here. Let me just grab this. So if we come over here, some of the pieces I did have to rearrange because some of the brand new dressers in that little cut shelf that I made this morning or yesterday have sold. So some of the pieces that I have up there as well, including a cart, also sold. So just trying to rearrange things, and there's still crowds coming in, so this is all a good sign. All right, I am just doing a check-in here, and my windscreen just came off of my microphone, but yeah, just doing a check-in. It's midday, so we've been having a couple sales about every hour. It's gotten kind of busy again. It's around lunchtime. Let's just check and see what time it is. So it's almost 1 o'clock, and we've actually seen some other people that have been here before and have visited us, some of our neighbors' friends, so that was nice to see everybody, and we had some family come out, so things are looking pretty good. The only unexpected factor is tomorrow would be the weather, so we don't know what that's going to do. It is March, and it is right before a holiday weekend, but the forecast is kind of like an unexpected potential like snowstorm tomorrow, and the temperatures are around freezing up here, and we're up in Minnesota, so we don't know if that's going to affect it or how things are going to go, but we do plan on being here tomorrow, so we will see what kind of weather events happen, and we just cross our fingers that it doesn't affect us too much when we need to pack up or for attendance. So we will see, but things are going well. It's still pretty busy. I think the gymnasium area is pretty packed, so we don't know. We've been talking to other people to see if maybe that's a better fit, but we don't think this space would be as big. But again, just pretty busy. Let me show you the booth. But yeah, we just have a few people kind of looking around and checking out what we have. Good morning, everybody. It is day number 2, early in the morning, and we're expecting a big storm today. It is Palm Sunday. It is towards the second week or the end of March, right before Easter, and yeah, it's kind of picking up. The crowd is coming in. It's about 10 o'clock when everything is beginning, and there's a lot of people maybe who were out of town that actually left to go home or didn't want to come out here due to the weather. And right on time, it has actually started snowing outside again. So we're supposed to in different areas up here get some larger accumulation. So we're going to see how things go and how heavy it's going to fall per hour. So we will see how day number 2 goes, but I don't know if there's going to be a lot of visitors or traffic just due to the weather today. So it might be a big factor. So we're going to see how things go when it gets closer to lunchtime as to whether or not we're going to stay. Well, I just had to kind of turn the camera around again and just show you how things look in the early morning as we're getting kind of things rearranged. You can see there's empty spots because people did leave, and there's still people that are uncovering things from last night because we have about an hour before the event is supposed to start at 10 o'clock. My husband's walking around there. I know you get to see his beautiful face on camera as he helps out, but yeah, there's kind of the view, and I'm hoping that the empty spots don't affect us as much. Sometimes when we have empty spots, there's people that will come in and kind of turn around a little bit and just leave. So I know there's some people that are kind of talking and getting ready to kind of fill and move from maybe another area so that everything is kind of more spread out. And so let's cross our fingers that people show up despite the weather today. Well, at 10 o'clock, the weather was supposed to start, and I walked over to the window here, and you can actually see there are very light flakes that have started to fall. So I was hoping the weather people were wrong, but as you can see, the snow is light and starting to get heavier. So their predictions for a weather event at the end of March are happening, and we're just going to kind of see how everything plays out. I know everybody else is kind of watching. There's actually somebody who's standing right next to me with their camera filming the same thing. So we'll see how things go. All right, we are into our first half an hour, and it's been pretty quiet. We've had a couple people look, but mainly there's a lot of other small business people that have kind of come and taken a look around because they didn't get a chance to yesterday, but it is pretty quiet. I think weather's a big factor. I don't know if it showed up on video, but the snowflakes are coming down thicker, and it is supposed to get heavier as the day goes on. So we're gonna see, because there's some places that are predicted to get up to like a foot of snow. So I'm hoping that's not us here in the cities, but we will see what is going to happen, and hopefully we at least get a couple things today. And since it is Sunday, it does tend to be slower for events, and it's still early in the morning, so I don't know if weather's going to be, again, a factor. We shall see. All right, it is the end of day 2, and we are packed, and you can see out I don't know if you can see all the little water marks on the window, but it is snowing pretty from like medium to heavy, and it's very wet and slushy. My feet are soaked after bringing everything out to the car. As you can see, it's all behind. But day 2 is done. It was really, really slow today. Sundays typically tend to be slower than Saturdays on events. And usually, even if it's a 3-day, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturdays do tend to be the busiest. But we had somebody who came and she picked up, thank you very much if you're ever watching this, 7 pairs of earrings for her daughters and for herself. So things of some of my new earring creations went pretty well. I got to test those out, some of my new designs, and so I'm going to have to make some more because we have larger events that are coming up in April. We have the Spring Festival event, which is at Canterbury Park coming up, and then we also have Geek Craft Expo in the Minneapolis Convention Center. If I can talk, I'm really tired. But weather was a huge factor today, and you know, it's kind of one of those where it's like Minnesota, we didn't get that much snow, at least in our metro area of Minneapolis, that much this winter, so we kind of got away a little bit easy. We had some colder temperatures, but yeah, so it decided to come in March, which does tend to be a little bit snowy, but it usually like melts right away. But I don't know if you've been seeing the forecasts nationwide, because they're predicting a foot to maybe more than that out of snow. My husband's about to open up the car door and he just picked up dinner because we don't want to cook after a long day of a show. So you're hearing the car door noise. He's coming in, but we picked up some yummy Korean food. And but I would say that in this show it's grown, so the number of participants have grown, and we noticed that there's a busier area, so we're going to try that out for one of our next shows. And we just found out that we got into some other events too that are going to be taking place, so we're excited about those because there's supposed to be a lot of attendance, and we'll have to see, because sometimes with large attendance that means like our Wi-Fi doesn't work as well, so we'll have to see how things go. But we did better than I thought we were going to do, but we only did maybe about 3 times table. And granted, now I will tell you, table price for this event was about $185, and so we did make over 5, but then think about that. So we had maybe a few food costs and some other things in there to take away. So nothing spectacular. It's kind of a mid-size event. And granted, just to give you an idea, when we have 2-day events or even a 1-day event, we do like to make closer to $1,000 or more. So we have been seeing our numbers steadily increase per event, but this is a 2-day event and we should have done I think much better than we did. But you know, it really pushed me. I need a deadline. So that's why I signed up for shows too. I need a deadline to keep me working and keep me creating and to keep aiming for some kind of goal, so then I am creating and not just kind of like sitting and not doing much, or just maybe kind of putting some things off. So final thoughts from this show. I think weather just was a big factor. We don't know, sometimes in the spring, sometimes in Minnesota when it's springtime we get every single season in one day, so it can vary. But I would say Saturday was busy, and from what we heard, everybody kind of did about the same or similar, and some people who had higher numbers, they were paying for 2 spaces, so you got to take that factor of like, you know, 185 times 2 into account. So it's like they may have done more money because they had more product and more space available, but they had to take away like $300 so from that total, which put them pretty even with where we were at. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully next month is a little bit better, but we are noticing some similar trends with other people that, you know, there's lots of attendance sometimes. There were over 2,000 plus that came to see us over this weekend, but people are kind of holding on to their money a little bit more. They're more willing to spend things on, you know, things like food or snacks for the day. But as far as things, and this is just me as a creator, you know, wanting to spend money on something that lasts longer or forever, like a memory, they're holding on to their wallets a little bit tighter. So we'll see how 2024 goes, and hopefully we have some good months, or I would say higher months too, now that this is like my full-time thing that I'm doing, or at least I'm hoping. But you know, sometimes the universe can test us. So that is something that, you know, we just got to keep pushing ourselves and maybe trying to find other avenues. Like I said, maybe our online business at Think Cutie, hopefully that'll pick up. But yeah, those are my thoughts as we go home for the after our third event for this month. All right, bye everybody. Well, I had to show you on our way home what it looked like as we were driving. The roads at this point, which was a couple hours before the show was supposed to end at 4, were just wet and very slushy. And because I had stepped in some puddles on the way out to the car, my shoes were soaked. I could probably wring out my socks and shoes at this point, and so I was really cold going today. But as far as my thoughts as review for this event and this vendor, Rosecraft, I would definitely attend their shows again, just because they've grown as a coordinator of events and they keep growing. And there's more participants, there's more vendors that attend, and there's also more people that come to the events. And when you have crowds that it's not predicted numbers, it's actual numbers that are 2,000 plus, you know, that is one thing. And I see that the coordinator's actually making an effort in learning from maybe events that weren't as highly attended to maybe change them to better times or better venues. So, yeah, those are my thoughts as we're driving home, and we already signed up for the December events for the holidays. And like I said last year in December with this same coordinator, we did make 10x our table cost for the Saturday and Sunday event. And like I said, we did over 500 on both Saturday and Sunday last December with the same group. So we are definitely signed up and ready to go for next year. And we just hope that there's no more snowstorms. I don't know if we're going to get as spoiled as we were this winter with just some cold days, but not as much snowfall, I would say. And we can never project the weather up here, because I would say it's roller coasters. I mean, like I said, we can have every single season in one day sometimes, especially when we're changing from season to season, and we're kind of in that time period. So we had gone from like nearly 70-degree weather for like 2-3 weeks all the way down to snow. So you just never know in the springtime up here, and that's something that you do have to consider as you go to events. But thank you again, everybody, for watching, and I hope all of these things help you see what shows are like up here. Remember to hit that bell and subscribe, and thank you to everybody who did purchase with us. And again, here are the events that we're going to be at. We have some other new ones that may be sneaking in. We're just waiting to see if we're going to get into them. But yeah, we hope to see you during our 2024 show schedule. And thank you again, everybody, for continuing to follow our vlog. And you can find us at thinkcutie.com.